How's your spirit? Mine is super chill, despite the FAFO. I had some medicated coffee this morning, and I'm finishing up medicating before I get started with some with the medicating thing, right? Like I said on other videos, I've been going back through the channel. I've been looking at some old things, um, some of the situations and stuff. The number of people who had some feels about me smoking weed, you know, oh, she must be high or something. Da 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 da. Find it interesting. The black community has such a problem with cannabis, even to this day. It's kind of cray cray. Okay, I mean, the number of people in our families we know use marijuana for whatever reason, and I think that that's the thing. Being out here in the Southwest, I have really learned a lot, not just about cannabis, but about the people, why they do what they do, and how they move. And so I posted this video on my Blue Sky and also on my YouTube community post. So if you come in right now, go look at it while I'm talking because I'm about to sip and blur for a minute. And it's a short, so it won't take long. But that's what I'm upset. I'm having this conversation about because I'm not upset. And I want to clarify that. I am not upset, honey. So let me sip my coffee for a minute. Ooh, child. All right. So I was watching that video, and it did take me back to a point in my life. My eldest son was about 16 years old, and I was purchasing his laptop for his birthday, for school, some other things, right? We're in the parking lot of Best Buy and Walmart. You know how they're often connected, and as we're going to our vehicle, and another vehicle is backing out, not paying attention, and almost hits my child. Put my body between myself, my son, and the vehicle, and I may have even touched it, like put my foot up or my hand and hit it, like, yo, motherfucker, what you doing out here? You understand? In those moments, and pretty much always, we are required to keep it together. Okay, someone almost hits our child. And I cannot superwoman leap over that motherfucking truck and hurt them for putting my child's life in danger, no matter how negligent they are, because I will be immediately seen as the overreacting, angry black woman. In that video, it's egregious what this woman does. Now, we're only given so much information and a clip and how it goes down, right? Yet, what you can clearly see is the Karen in this situation ain't got no concerns about whether or not she gonna catch a fade. She figures that anything that come out of her mouth, she's safe. She got them boys in blue. She got them blue-eyed boys too. You understand? The black mother in that video with her child has to stand on her integrity, her dignity, and her decency. She can't call the police. She's still gonna have to go through the process of explaining herself when she's not done anything wrong. If the woman walked out with a receipt and the Walmart employee is saying, go ahead and pack your things and leave, she's done nothing wrong. And the Karen is out of line. And to add insult to injury, she calls the mother a liar, the child a thief, and she stands there all Karen about the situation. You see? So, this is my call to action. to all the YT people who claim to be friends of melanated folk. When you see that go down, offer Karen a fade. Tell her, open your mouth one more time, and I will put hands on you in place of the melanated person. See what she does then. It's a calculated risk indeed. Simultaneously, it's my belief many of the Karens of the world have never had a spanking or the threat of one. So perhaps if they're threatened with a full mollywhopping from, in this case, two grown ass men, or at least one grown ass adult, things can change. Perhaps, right? Maybe. See, most black women know better than to run their mouths. They know where the limit is. Looking at myself right here in this moment, the thought of Sandra Bland comes to mind. If she had a just, if she had a just. Suppose somewhere in my videos, perhaps I maybe even could have implied, considered, thought. But you know, the reality is, when you know your rights, when you're a citizen of this country, and you've done so much for it, you believe. And that's the fallacy. Belief. Belief in the justice system. Belief in the police department. Belief in YT friends. First video on my first channel, giving a speech here in Tucson about white people I see like family. I did at least. Things change. And when I say things change, what I mean is, hmm, I put them in the same category as the family that I left behind. People show and prove to you every day who they are. And when your spirit tells you, your intuition, your gut says, these folks ain't here for you. These folks ain't here for you. That's a message to me and everybody. The police are not here for you. They're here to uphold the laws in this country. They don't give a damn about your skin color. Until they get there, you see. Then they see you, how you move, and how they move. That's pretty much a clue. When I was a teenager, I wanted to go to the Model United Nations. I grew up in Germany. I went to school at the International School of Dusseldorf. And had my parents invested in my intellect the same way that they invested in the idea of me getting pregnant before I graduated from high school, I would have been president. And a host of other things along with it. I've seen a lot of things about fear, fear of a black planet, fear of a personality. I think the nation and the world fears an intelligent, fierce, black woman leader of this country. A woman who knows her history, her lineage, her legacy. Shout out to Ken Paxton. Call me, cousin. Maybe. There's a story. There's an American Civil War story. Whomever the light skinned Paxtons are, right? So I'm going to tell you this really briefly. Colorism is why the dark skinned Paxtons lack. My grandmother was a light skinned, could pass for white woman. Her name was Clara Patricia Paxton, if I'm not mistaken. And I say not mistaken. My grandmother, I really didn't get to know that well. I went to her house sometimes to visit, not very often. Again, though, colorism. She married a dark-skinned black man who delivered flowers to Graceland, and she was educated, from what I understand. So the family disowned her, and by extension, us. Her last name became Moore when she married, and pretty much nothing but girls since, so the Paxton name on this side of the thing has changed. Which brings me to the question of who were the Paxtons with money in the first place? Now, knowing all of my heritage and going way, 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 way back with a little linguistic understanding here, this is just for a little bit of fun, right? If you take the word, the name Paxton, and you look for what it could be, Paxton, you take the Pax, that is peace, okay? You can look it up, okay? Ton, that's the ton, okay? When you're talking about in Europe back in the day, the ton, those were the rich folks, the money folks. They went to court and shit like that. And I don't mean the court of law, I mean court with the royals and whatnot. Like the Hamptons, the ton, the money folks, right? Okay. Now, however, if you take ton and you turn it to son, because Pax Sun exists, Paxson, you also see that sun, Son, can be sun, Sun. Son of peace. Son of peace. Peace, son. You see? There's an understanding in there when we truly understand our language, our history, and where we come from. The original human being, the original man, found peace, solace, sanctity in the sun. The original man understood that the sun nourished it, fed it, watered it. So much so that we lifted up the sun as a god. Ra, the all-seeing eye. You see, and I could go on and we could do this thing where we go pop culture and I equate it to Lord of the Rings, or you can just stay with me right here in this understanding. Because I understand where Paxton could be Paxson, Peace Sun. I would like to know whether or not the YT Paxtons have a similar understanding. Do they know Paxton history the way that I do? Or is it lore? Were we all lied to? That is why I would like to meet the white side of the Paxton family. Sure, there could be money, there could be a host of things, but that's why I say this is a story of the American Civil War and its outcomes. After the Civil War, we get Reconstruction. And during the Reconstruction period, black people take high offices politically. They end up in senates and whatnot. And they become educated. And I think it takes a decade or so before you get to Black Boule. Not that long. Before I want you to understand me clearly. It takes 10 years post Reconstruction for educated black people to separate themselves from the position that they used to be in. That is arrogance at its height. Oh my God. Excuse me. These are the descendants. And please, um, all the clarity, okay? Yes, there are free people who simply returned to freedom after being put into slavery, into bondage. There are free people who were always free, who somehow managed to escape it and had money, especially when you're talking about coming off the islands and the Gullah Geechee. I understand those things. I am not denying that. What I'm saying is, don't that make them the damn Ton and the problem, Shaitan? It took 10 years for them to deny who they were, the fucking people. The movie Queenie comes after the movie Roots. Queenie is the story, so to speak, of the family. You dig? Pay close attention. Queenie, I believe she was played by Halle Berry. Right. Passing. I made a joke because apparently Ken Paxton's got some family issues going on of biblical blasphemous proportions. What if because he's been hiding his family's blackness, or he didn't know it existed until this came? Because for the last almost all my life, I've denied the Paxton in my name. At 11, I had to sign my ID card for us to go overseas. And at 11 in the military, you usually do it anyway. That's when I was told that my last name wasn't Perkins. So when I was put into school, my godmother registered me from my understanding, and she registered me with my stepfather's last name because she thought it would be blasphemous or bastardous to find out that I was born a bastard. However, let's talk about it. All your father has to do is claim you. I sent him a little Game of Thrones reference real quick. Jon Snow was a bastard because the Targaryen who made him did not claim him. Wasn't able to because he was murdered too. Okay? So the man who raised him and kept that secret did not give him his name for a reason. It's possible that my stepfather did not give me his name until he was forced to do so, which would have been when I had to sign my ID card, not when I was registered for kindergarten. So anyway, Janine Paxton basically doesn't exist from kindergarten until this. Every now and then, a Social Security card with her number, not her name, shows up because my married name's on. Right? Pardon me. And I'm making this point again because this is where we are in history. What are the reasons why we're going through so much of this stuff? Pardon me, race war wise, so to speak, is because some of the races aren't having babies. And this might be one of the reasons why. So I thought it'd be a good time to use Again, my family line is a case study of understanding. I understand full well what it is to be melanated out this piece. I live it every day of my life. I live being Janine. See, the thing is Janine is the name given to me on my birth certificate by my mother, the one that's not supposed to change. It represents my identity along with my social security number, right? And my birth certificate. Those are basically the things that the government looks for to see me prior to facial recognition and all of those things. The point being, that's how easy it is for someone to go missing. Stayed attached to the United States military for pretty much all my life. And my gifts and abilities were given to me directly by the Most High God. I do call myself the Black Jesus Christ. And I say that this is the second coming. That's because that's what the president of this country wanted. And his cronies. That's why God had me reincarnate here, in this city, in this country. There's history here that goes unrecognized out east. And this is the opportunity to change that for the first time in history. Yeah, we're all kind of offended by Joe Biden making Juneteenth a national holiday. I don't know if everyone's offended for the same reason, though. I said before, at 6, I knew I wanted to be Harriet Tubman. Here I sit, wanting to abolish slavery. I could be Nat Turner and be more violent about it. It's just, what has that ever accomplished? We've seen more by Black people closing the door on those who no longer serve their best interests. That sounds selfish. We've also been selfless. We participated in every war in this country on both sides of it and outside of it. We've given our best and our brightest in a multitude of ways. And some of them have never gotten paid. No. Catch a fade. Offer one at least. Just don't do nothing stupid, right? When you see something, say something. Hey yo, that's some disrespectful shit. That woman or child have done nothing to you. You got a problem? Come see me. Nah, right now. Let's do this real quick. See what Karen says then. Careful. You could end up being an accomplice. At the same time, what would have been the crime of the Black woman and her child that started it? If the employee says, go ahead and get your things out of the cart, put them into your car, and stands there to ensure that there is no escalation to violence. It says something about awareness and lack of what to do next. Now, that Karen believes that her savior are the boys in blue, so perhaps the employee should have called also. There's a woman on the property harassing one of our paying customers, and we'd like for you to ask her to leave. That's violence to Karen. Tell her she can't go nowhere. Do something. Stop expecting us to keep the peace. That's why I refuse to respect the police. I can't respect men who show up every time a white woman bats her eyes at them and says she's gotten emotional because she thought something. I don't care if you do have to show up. Make it look good. Well, Karen, I heard everything that you had to say, yet she's just being a black lady today, so you're going to have to go away. That's an approach, folks. It's just an approach. Offer her aid. Offer her a ride to the station to file her complaint. And then remind her that it's a crime to call the police when no crime has been committed. It's a waste of taxpayer money. And it's time we start holding Karens accountable. Now, as much as I may have said catch a fade, I've given plenty of other options today. Everyone's going to go their own way and choose their own response. I am simply asking. Quit asking black people to hold our tongue, keep the peace, and be the street police, baby. We got our own thing. Shout out to Heavy D. Keep the spirit up. I'll see you in the streets.